And so, my dear ones, here we are, another Sunday, all ready. And you and I are ready for the new and the wonderful, I'm knowing that. That's what it is to be spiritually awakening. To be ready always for the new and the wonderful and the more mighty, omniscient, radiating energy more. First and foremost, I want to say to all the daddies out there, very happy Father's Day, and a great big thank you for taking on that responsibility, because I know it's not an easy one. But we're thinking about you, and we're sending lots of loving vibes to you. And knowing for you, you have the direction of spirit going on to help you to indeed be all that you can be for the children under your care. Whether you're an actual biological father or whether you're playing the role of a father, it doesn't matter. You're anybody who's fatherly, and that includes women too. Where our thoughts, our prayers are with you, not just today, but always. Your role is incredible. It's the most important role you could have. And we're knowing for you the highest, most wondrous good. And so we're continuing in this month to look at the evolutionary aspect of love, because love does evolute if we're one with it and open to it. And love, as I get longer in the tooth, as my grandparents used to say, the ancestors used to say, I'm a bit too long on the tooth for that. Or because I'm long on the tooth, I know a little. I know this, that love is the greatest of all mysteries, and it's elusive, and it doesn't show itself at all until it is courted, until it is recognized, until it is invited, until there is a consistency in being open and receptive to its secrets, the secrets that set us free. That's what I do know. That's for certain sure I know that. And so, my dear ones, we're celebrating so many things this weekend. We're celebrating Father's Day, and God bless every father. And we're celebrating Juneteenth. And I loved what Bernice had to share with us. Juneteenth. It's a great celebration for us all because it shows how humanity is being liberated and called higher all the time. All those of us who live in the United States of America get to celebrate the 4th of July. But those of us who are here amongst us who have had ancestors enslaved, they get to have two celebrations. Today, the 19th is Jubilee Day or Freedom Day or Emancipation Day. So they get to have two celebrations. And I like to join my brothers and sisters in their celebrating of emancipation and their endeavor to fully realize what that means. And so it is an amazing thing to me. I mean, I'm all over the place with this weekend. I mean, I had the most wonderful talk in my own mind prepared for today, and it went out the door last night very late as I was thinking about the whole concept of slavery and enslavement, and my eyeballs are bulging because I think what darkness, what fear causes us to participate in such cruelty. What is that? How can it be? When so many of us embrace spiritual principles and say we're this or we're that or we're the other. But love, if it be love, harms never, ever. And that's the root of every authentic religion. Love. Life. Omniscient. Victorious energy. That's what love is. And so my emotions were all over the place, up, down, in and out, and so on. And I woke up with that same thing this morning, that same feeling. What is it? What type of fear and darkness overcomes us to the point that we can do harm to anything or anyone if we are the image and likeness of Spirit? And to be the image and likeness of Spirit, we're that in our own spirit, in our own soul. And to be that means to be a lover. And love, what does it do? It conquers all. And what does love do? It is absolutely, always and ever kind, caring, giving. Some of us don't like the word service, to be in service. I love it. It just means to care. It just simply means to care. In everything we're doing, thinking and saying, being, to care. And when we care, what do? We share. And when we share, what do? We lift up. We lift up. Andy's medley today was wonderful because the two songs he played were two songs I very much appreciate and I've known since I was knee-high, especially the piece from, I think it was the Desert Song, and it begins with, "Give me some men who are stout-hearted men, and I'll soon give you 10,000 more. Shoulder to shoulder." I'm not going to inflict that upon you, but as a child, I loved that song. And it reminded me of Ernest Holmes saying, "Give me 1,000 people. Give me 1,000 people, and I'll soon give you 10,000 and 100,000 more, who know and imbibe the principles of love and life and light," which he presented under the umbrella of Science of Mind and Spirit. And then the wind beneath my wings. What is that but love? There is no thing enough love cannot heal, said Emmett Fox some time ago. Oh, I look out into the world and I say, there's not enough love then, if that's the definition. Look into our own lives and say, there's not enough love here then, if I'm ailing in this way or that way or the other way or whatever. Now, you and I have a big decision to make every single day of our lives and every conscious moment of our lives. Do we choose on the side of love or fear? It's one or the other. Those who love do not fear, because love casts out fear. And fear has a fierce darkness to it. And in the fear and the darkness, we lose our minds. And we become something other than we are in truth. So as I said, I was all over the place. Tears spilling, 1 minute, laughing the next minute, getting it here, losing it there, and so on. It was a wonderful late night, I can tell you, and early morning this morning. And underneath it all was that sense of, oh my gosh, I'm ready to know something. After all the bazillions of facts I have accumulated over the years, I am now ready to know something more. To feel something better, deeper, greater. And have a sense of that energy of what faith is. Have that energy of faith that empowers and accomplishes. I am so weary of all the ways we have learned and accepted to separate ourselves. All the many, many ways, and they are many. To see ourselves apart from. And yet, I am everything and everyone is me, and everything and everyone affects me, and I affect everything and everyone too, because that's how life is It is one flow of energy. That's what life is. And that flow of energy is available to each and every one of us. It's like a Gulf Stream. Once you make it, everything is easier. You just get carried along. But you can't differentiate the Gulf Stream from the rest of the ocean. It's ocean. Its energy is different, that's all. So I'm inviting us all today to look at ourselves very, very carefully, see where our energy is, see where our thoughts keep taking us, see how those thoughts affect our feelings and how our feelings and thoughts affect our actions. No small task, but we're all equal to it, and that's why we all belong to spiritual communities, so that we can remember the spiritual aspect of our being, wake up back into it, and then become the lovers we were meant to become. Those spiritual energy centers, that's what a lover is. It's a spiritual energy center that expands energy, lifts up, enriches, cares for, and serves. There's no getting away from the word service. It's a beautiful word, actually. And you and I appreciate it greatly when we go into a store or anywhere else and we get good service. And isn't it sad to say that sometimes when we receive good service, we're always amazed, to the point that I'll always go to the people in charge and say, I just want to say how I deeply appreciate the kind of care and service I received from so-and-so. Because there's enough people going to complain. Never miss an opportunity to praise. For everyone we think is not doing a good job, there are others who are doing a splendid job. Hone in on that. That comes to yourself too, when you're about to shame and blame yourself again. Remember all the good stuff. Remember all the good things and all the things you are good at. And let that be the focus. Love will do the deed. For with love, stony hearts will bleed, Herbert said a long time ago. And it's true. The scars from the lashes of the tongue are the deepest scars of all. And that's the first place love can always show up. In the way we speak, in the way we share, in the way we are with each other. It sounds easy enough, but when you endeavor to put it into practice, it's not all that easy. And now when I think back, and it's not surprising that the world is in the state it is in, because I think as individual people, we need to take a look at our own deep inner consciousness, our own, before we can touch the collective consciousness, what we have accumulated in our own long, eternal life to date. There's a lot in there that is good, bad, and indifferent. And then if you add that to all in the, race-conscious mind, the collective consciousness, there's a lot of good, bad, and indifferent in there too. And we were told in Science of Mind 101, always treat to release from your subconsciousness anything of a negative nature, because it does affect our outer conscious awareness, our human consciousness in this present lifetime. And so we can do that. Nothing is hopeless. That's the beauty and grace of an idea dawning and a new paradigm appearing in our lives. It's always full of, look what can be. It's always filled with that sense of faith in life unfolding as it's meant to. And that can happen for you and that can happen for me. When I think about all of the agonies that all humanity have gone through at different times, but especially the agony of what enslavement does to a person, and certainly enslavement over a long period of time that gets into the subconscious mind, that keeps resounding within the individual to say, you're less than, you're not enough. Not only that, but the animal life is better than you are. Can you imagine what it takes to come up out of that energy and become a sovereign being? And yet, so many do that. So many have done that, and so many continue to do that. We still have slavery in the midst of us. Human trafficking and everything else. I'm not going to get into it, but we still have it. That enslaved mentality is deep within the human psychic. It's got to be released. So in me, what would that look like? Well, if there's any sense in me of being punitive, if ever I feel punitive, want to punish in some way, there it is, on one side or the other. Or if I feel small, insignificant, not worth much, there's that other side in me. The tyrant on one hand, the slave on the other. It's in us all, both aspects, in us all. We're all enslaved to something or another. We all get tyrannical about something or another at times. But at the center core of our being, there is this pristine, sovereign, energetic being that is unperturbed and undisturbed by any of that, knows what it is and what it will always be. That is your truth, that is my truth, and you and I are here to find it. That's why we're part of a spiritual community. To return back onto our former state of being before the world began, as Scripture says. So it is a triumphant thing to know. I am so much more than anything I've been experiencing, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm so much more than that. But how do I access the moreness? That's the question. That's why we come together as a spiritual community to endeavor together to unravel and peel away, until we get to the center core, the sweetness of the onion. So, my dear ones, celebrate this weekend. Celebrate liberty. Your liberty in some way. It may be from a thought, it may be from a feeling, it may be from an ailment, it may be from whatever, but celebrate your liberation. Look at all the times you freed yourself from something. And then transfer that to other people and celebrate with other people their freedoms too. It's a good thing to be this much awake to understand this much. So to all who are celebrating this weekend for whatever reason, just do it in gratitude and deep faith that life is unfolding and moving ahead as it's supposed to, and that all of us are going from good to good and grace to grace. And as we go along, becoming a little bit more conscious, because that's what's happening in truth. And above all else, let's keep each other in mind and heart in prayer, knowing the highest and the most wondrous unfolding good for everybody, and not even look at appearances. Everyone included, no one left out. Remember Jesus' story about the black sheep? The shepherd is always going to go after the black sheep, the straying sheep, first, and bring it back, carrying it on his shoulders. And that's the truth, my dear ones. And unfortunately, our time is up for this part of our time together, and Reverend Catherine is waiting to come and share something with us. So here she comes.
This is the time in our service when we share with you manifestations of our mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And this is a message that we have received. I have had some great news lately. My family is doing so well, and we are getting back together in person, slowly and carefully. It has made me feel so much joy, surprising me, really. I also have noticed that this joy and gratitude has given me so much energy to finish all those things I wanted to do during lockdown. I am happier and more optimistic about everything. What I realize is that the news that some might think of as negative, I am able more to just ignore. I find myself believing that more deeply, that there is so much love and good in the world, that most people want to do the right thing. I'm sticking with that. Thank you for all you do and for your support.
It's always so wonderful to receive your letters. It's very encouraging for us here too. And the teaching is the teaching, and it's solid, and it can be proved. You can prove it to yourself, and you can be empowered by it and through it. But of course, as long as we live the principles. But I'll tell you this much, my dear ones. You can sum up all your principles and put them under one principle: love, and that will be more than enough. Love as it is meant to be. Life, omniscient, vibrant energy, expressing through you and expressing through me. So again, I want to thank fathers for all that they're doing. Thank everybody playing the role of a father for the difference everyone is making. And know that we do really support you, because as I say, your job is the most important job in the world, along with that of a mother. And it's never, ever proven to be easy. And there's very little preparation for it. So we're with you. And thank you for making the difference in the lives of children. It's a beautiful thing. And now we are going to have our celebration of our abundance. And it's the sharing moment, isn't it? It's the giving moment. It's the serving moment in this way. So we take our gift, we hold our gift between our blessing hands, and we say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my good with love. And so it is. And now we're going to have our prayer. And this prayer is going to be for freedom of mind, heart, body, and soul for every person on the plane, and particularly for fathers, that they may be led with wisdom and grace in the care of their children and all children. And so know with me then the wonderful truth that we embrace here, and pray with me now with absolute faith in divine providence. I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life in expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and peace, in ease and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There's only God. There is only God. God is all there is. especially by means of you. And so it is. And before our peace song, again, I'm going to say thank you and thank you and thank you again. There are no words I could find to convey that sense of appreciation for all that you are, all the goodness you're responsible for, all the kindness, all your generosity of spirit, all your caring and all your sharing. It is the difference that the world needs now. So keep up your energy, keep the energy flowing, and know you'll never know what want is when you rely upon Source. Thank you for everything. And all those enjoying this Juneteenth celebration, we're with you, and we're enjoying that you're enjoying it too. And we're going to absolutely know that no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should by means of you and by means of me. And until we meet again, know you're loved and you are supported, and we're here for you however we can be. So, and now, Andy and the Peace Song.